Over the years, several young talents get called generational, and unfortunately, many never truly live up to the hype. However, when it comes to UConn's guard Paige Bueckers, she is one of a kind. In a world where Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are the faces of women's basketball, she's in a league of her own. A superstar in the making, at least according to many legends of women's basketball. So exactly how good is Paige Bueckers? Back in March 2024, one of the most respected voices in women's college basketball and the sport as a whole, longtime UConn head coach Gino Arima made the audacious statement when he called Paige,
"We have the best player in America."
The best player in the whole of America. Many could claim that Arima said this because he's her coach. However, this is what WNBA legend and the greatest women's college basketball player, Diana Taurasi, had to say when she first saw Paige Bueckers in her first year of college.
The first game I watched her play, I watched the first quarter, and I told Penny, and then after the game, I text Coach Arima, and I said she's the best player in basketball already.
What Taurasi saw was a player who gets her teammates involved, a college rookie whose vision is unlike anyone else. Taurasi saw a guard who could do it on both ends of the court, who could block a pass at her end and then weave the ball through defenders to reach an open teammate just in time for the perfect shot. I mean, there's a reason she won every single award she was eligible for as a rookie in college, becoming the first freshman to win a major National Women's College Player of the Year award, 4 in total: the AP Player of the Year, Naismith College Player of the Year, USBWA Women's National Player of the Year, and the John R. Wooden Award. Not many #1 recruits in the country live up to expectations, but Paige Bueckers exceeded them in just her first year of college basketball. Some would say it was expected, but trust me, not like this. Paige Buckets, as she's famously known, started playing basketball at the age of 5. Up until 7th grade, she was coached by her father, and at that time, she was already playing for the 10th grade and junior varsity basketball teams at Hopkins High School in Minnetonka. Well, fast forward to high school, and in her freshman debut for Hopkins High School, she scored 28 points, dished out 4 assists, and had 4 steals. As a freshman, Paige Bueckers averaged 20.8 points, 4.5 rebounds, 4.5 steals, and 4.1 assists per game, leading her team to a 31-1 record. Her sophomore year was even better as she improved her stats, averaging 22.3 points, 6.8 assists, and 5.9 rebounds per game, while guiding Hopkins to a 28-4 record. That same year, she made history when she became the first sophomore in 34 years to be named Star Tribune Metro Player of the Year. As a junior, she led Hopkins to an unbeaten 32-0 record, averaging 24.4 points, 5.1 assists, 4.9 rebounds, and 4.6 steals per game. And in that season, she hit 2,000 career points and even had a 43-point game. In her senior year of high school, Paige Bueckers once again led Hopkins to another unbeaten season, extending the team's consecutive winning streak to 62 wins. She averaged 21.4 points, 9.4 assists, 5.4 steals, and 5 rebounds per game, and for the 3rd consecutive year was named Star Tribune Metro Player of the Year. She was also named Gatorade Female High School Athlete of the Year, Gatorade National Player of the Year, Naismith Prep Player of the Year, and Morgan Wooden National Player of the Year. She finished high school as Hopkins' all-time leader in points, assists, and steals, and without a doubt, a 5-star recruit out of high school, ranked the #1 player in the 2020 class by ESPN. You know, a testament to how good she was in high school is the fact that every single coach whose team faced her had nothing but admiration for her. Molly Casper, the Eastview coach, recalled facing her in high school when she scored 23 points in the first half. "I remember being so defeated. Your heart's just like, okay, I don't know what else we can do in that moment. I flat out told them she's gonna be in the WNBA one day. And I was like, that's okay. So when she hits a tough shot in your face, look at her and say, nice shot, and turn around," said Casper. Stillwater coach Willie Taylor also had high praises for her, explaining that Bueckers reads opposing teams' plays like a defensive back. "Paige jumps the play like a defensive back," Taylor said. "That's not coaching. That's just a kid that's just got that desire, fire, and actually the God-given tools to make plays like that." Farmington Tigers head coach Liz Carpentier called her the best high schooler out of Minnesota. Because all parts of her game are so smooth and developed, Carpentier said. The thing that sets her apart is really her competitiveness. Her game mentality is at the highest level. When asked about Paige Bueckers, her retired high school coach Brian Cosgriff called her Plan P and likened her to Michael Jordan. "It's like asking Phil Jackson, what's it like being Michael Jordan's coach?" said Brian Cosgriff. Or asking Gino Arima, "What's it like being Diana Taurasi's coach?" I once heard Gino say that the difference in the game was, I had Diana Taurasi and they didn't. And that's kind of the way it was with Paige. We always had Plan A going into a game. And if that didn't work, we called it Plan P. Get the ball to Paige and let her do her thing. Well, fast forward to her first year at UConn, and now college coaches had to face the brunt of playing Paige buckets. As a freshman, Bueckers ranked 11th nationally in total points and 6th in total assists, leading UConn to Big East regular season and tournament titles before a trip to the Final Four. In her first year in college, she immediately became her team leader, averaging 20 points on 52.4% shooting and 46.4% behind the arc, 5.8 assists, 4.9 rebounds, and 2.3 steals per game. Her 168 assists were the most by a freshman in UConn's history. Another testament to how good Bueckers is the fact that there is no debate that Paige Bueckers' freshman season is one of the best in UConn and NCAA history. This is a team that has had generational talents like Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, and Brianna Stewart. Unfortunately, one reason there is not yet a general consensus that she is the best in UConn's history is because Bueckers hasn't always been healthy. There are a lot of ifs regarding what she could have accomplished if she had been healthy for most of her college career. In her sophomore year of college, she played only 17 games. She started the season recovering from surgery on her right ankle to repair an osteochondral defect, joint damage involving the bone and cartilage. When she finally made her debut, the UConn guard exploded for a career-high 34 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, ultimately matching the program's record for points in a season opener set by Carrie Bascom in 1989. Unfortunately for her, she got injured a month later. She was forced to miss her entire junior season due to an ACL injury. In 3 years, Paige Bueckers has suffered 2 major knee injuries, and it's a miracle she's back. Not just back though, but better. Since her return, Buckets has tied Maya Moore as the fastest player in UConn history to reach 1,000 career points, doing so in 55 games. In the regular season, she had her best season yet, as she averaged 21.9 points on 53% shooting, 5.2 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 2.2 steals, and 1.4 blocks. Her assists compared to her amazing rookie season dipped, but her playmaking was efficient. Well, one plausible explanation for why her assists dipped is that Bueckers is no longer the lead guard. Due to UConn's long list of injuries, she was forced to be the main pure scoring threat. Bueckers' ability to work without the ball in her hands allowed UConn to play her alongside KK Arnold and Nika Moule, who had to function as creators. And being the generational talent that she is, she adapted during the regular season to accommodate the skills of UConn's roster. Anyway, during the postseason, Paige Bueckers averaged 27.9 points, 8.7 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 3.1 steals, and 2.6 blocks leading up to the Final Four. Before the Final Four loss to Caitlin Clark's Iowa, she was on a streak of 7 consecutive 20-point games, the second longest run by a UConn player in the past 25 seasons. Offensively, you can't argue that Paige Bueckers is not a phenomenal player, and this is despite her being very unselfish. Nevertheless, her defensive contributions can't be underestimated. At 5'11", Bueckers led the Huskies in blocks and steals per game. Her 4.3 defensive rebounds per game are second only to Aaliyah Edwards. In major conferences, Bueckers is just one of 6 players to average at least 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block per game. And among them, only 6'2" Juju Watkins blocked more shots than the UConn guard. You should know, her defensive stats are very impressive because the Huskies lost their starting center, Dorka Juhas, to the WNBA. So Bueckers had to step up, and boy, did she step up for the team. Paige Bueckers is by far one of the most complete female basketball players ever to grace the game. And even though injuries slowed her down for years, she's still the star she was always meant to be.